everyone, it's Samantha from Scrapmaster's Paradise, and today I'm going to make this little treat box. It's actually to hold the little Hershey's Nuggets, so you can open it here, and there's 3 little nuggets inside, so it just holds those little things so easily. And we're going to make this today. So let me set this aside here. I've got a piece of orange cardstock. It is 4 by 6. And then I've got 2 little pieces of pattern paper. These came from the Snap Color Vibe 6x6 paper pad by Simple Stories. I just picked out some blue of the chevron. These are cut at 1.75 by 2.75, so they'll fit on the front and the back of this little box. So I'll set those aside. We're going to need our scoring tool. I'm using a Score Pal for this. Lined up here. I'm going to need to score this at 2 inches. I go over it a couple of times just to make sure it's good. Got 2.5 inches, 4.5 inches, and 5 inches. And then I'm going to turn it this way and score it at 1/2 inch and at 3.5 inches. Alright, and that's all the scoring we're going to do. Let's get this back out of the way. Okay, so this side is 2 inches until that first score line, and this side is just 1 inch. So this is the front flap here. And I like to use the side that kind of bubbles out, the opposite side of where I have my stylus. That's going to be the inside. I like to fold to that puffy out line versus the little indented line. So the indented is on the outside, the puffy line's on the inside. So that makes this the very front. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this section here. I got our new stamp set. This is the Happy Banner stamp set, and you can see it comes with tons and tons of cute little sentiments. I'll do an official intro video with this later on. I'm just making a project today. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of these banners and then use the sentiment, "So proud of you." I just love that sentiment. I think it's cute to just give to your children when they've done something special. And that way they know that you're super proud of them. And that way they feel a little bit special. Everybody likes to feel special. So I just grabbed the solid banner and then that "So proud of you" sentiment here. For the banner, I'm going to use orange ink so I get a tone-on-tone look. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this banner first. Oops. Got a little fuzz on my stamp. I got to get it off. Okay. So this is the orange ink. Make sure I get my stamp inked up, and I'm going to just stamp it on this front flap. Try to center it a little bit, make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, it's pretty straight. And I'm going to let that dry for just a second before we stamp the next color on top. We don't want the ink to bleed. So while we wait for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and make the cuts that we need to make. I'm going to just chop off this little score section here and then cut along each of these score lines up to that same mark. Okay, same thing on this side. It's going to be exactly the same. Just chop off this first little section and then cut along all those little score lines. Okay, so those are all the cuts we're going to need, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this. For this box, I used blue, and it kind of smeared. My ink pad was really juicy, and so I'm going to use actually black for this. So hopefully it won't do that bleeding as much, because my blue was just way too juicy. Sometimes that happens. You can always blot your ink pad if you get something like that. I'm just going to use black this time. I'm lining it up, but I lined it up pretty good. one didn't do any bleeding whatsoever, which is really nice, because before it just bled all over the place with that juicy ink pad. Alright, now it's time to fold on all our lines. I just fold on all the score lines here. And then we'll assemble our little treat box. It's so super easy. This one is just so easy to make. Okay, so we've got all of that. I'm going to go ahead and fold these sides and then round those corners. And you can see here a little bit, I didn't cut exactly on that score line, so I'm actually going to go back and just trim that, make it line up a little bit better. So I don't want that little piece hanging off. Ta-da! So easy. Okay, I'm going to use my corner chomper and just chomp off these corners to round that front flap, just so it looks nice and polished. And it's easier to do when you haven't assembled anything yet. Okay, so for the sides, I'm going to fold in this little tab and then fold in one side and then the next side. So I have these two pieces on the outside when I fold mine. You can actually do it the other way where those are on the outside. It doesn't matter, you just need to know which side to put your glue on. So I'm going to put my glue on these two flaps here. I've got some permanent glue dots. I just like a really, really strong adhesive for this. You don't want things to fall apart when you spent time making it for somebody. So you want a really strong adhesive, and I found any of the tape runners do not do very well with this. You're going to want something really strong. I'm going to fold everything in. Do one side at a time. Make sure you line it up really nice. I'm just pressing. And same with this side. Line it up. It slipped a little bit. Trying that again. There we go. I wasn't lining it up right. Okay. So we've got those done. Then I just have these flaps there to fold on the inside. That way it's flush at the top here. Then I'm going to attach a repositionable glue dot there so you can open this container. These ones, they just stick, but they don't stick permanently, so it's really nice to use for openings of things. So I have a roll of these handy. These ones are just removable like they say on the package. And I actually forgot our pattern paper, so I need to go ahead and put these on there. Now for this layer, I'm just going to use my AdTech tape runner because it will hold good enough. It just doesn't hold for things that are folded together in 3D. It'll hold this on strong enough, so I just line it up, and I left a little bit of border around the whole side. It looks nice and cute. Maybe I can line it up better than that. There. I'm just having to press it all on since I didn't do this first. Alright, now we got the back side to do. Oops. See, I got a little dog hair. I've just pulled that off my sweater and got it stuck in my project. That's what happens when you got lots of furry dogs. Let's line this one up. Do the same thing. I'm pressing on the inside as well as the outside here. And just put your little treats inside and you're done. It's so super easy. I just love how cute and little this tiny box is. You just put your little treats in, seal it up, and voila, we're done. Oh, there it is. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.